Hello, philosophy enthusiasts. Today we focus on the views of one of the Islamic philosophers, Fakhr al-Din al-Razi, on the concepts of time and ontology. Razi defines time, similar to the Platonic understanding, as an immutable substance. According to him, what changes are not time itself, but the events that occur within time. Therefore, he uses terms like Sermed, Azal, and Dahr al-Dahir to define time. Sermed and Azal express the notion of immutable time and have no beginnings. However, this does not imply that God's precedence over other entities is temporal. Razi explains the concept of Azal as the uninterrupted continuity of God's existence. This indicates that God's precedence is ontological, meaning that God's existence is independent and before the existence of other entities. Although Razi accepts time as an immutable substance, he notes that this view differs from the Platonic understanding. In Plato, time is subject to change as a shadow of the forms, whereas in Razi, time is an independent and unchanging entity. This difference lies at the heart of discussions about the ontological status of time and is particularly significant in Islamic philosophy and theology, Kalam. In Islamic philosophy, there are divergent views on whether time is a real entity or a nominal concept. This debate is particularly prominent regarding the eternity, Azal, of God and his attributes. There is a significant disagreement between Ahl al-Sunnah and the Mu'tazila on this matter. Ahl al-Sunnah accepts the eternal attributes, present in God's essence but distinct from it, while the Mu'tazila rejects these attributes, asserting that only God's essence is eternal. Razi argues that time does not have an ontological relationship with motion and exists independently of it. This view opposes Aristotle's idea that time is merely a measure of motion. According to Razi, time is an entity that exists on its own. This perspective is crucial in philosophical discussions on how time and motion are perceived and defined. Razi's understanding of time has been deeply examined in Islamic thought and has led to significant debates among various schools of thought. His views provide crucial contributions to the ontological status of time, the eternal attributes of God, and their relationship with motion. Accepting time as an immutable substance determines its ontological status and raises the question of whether time is merely a nominal concept. The discussions on the existence and nature of time pose important questions in the fields of metaphysics and ontology. The eternity of God and the nature of his attributes are central topics in Islamic theology. This debate encompasses profound theological and philosophical issues regarding the unity of God's essence and the eternity of his attributes. Razi asserts the inevitability of the existence of the present moment and explains it with three key arguments. The past and future are non-existent, therefore something can only exist in the present moment. The existence of something in the past or future is related to its existence in the present. Our experiences show that our perceptions occur at a specific present moment. According to Razi, the present moment, now, is the smallest indivisible part of time. He argues that moments cannot be distinguished from each other physically but only mentally. He opposes the Aristotelian view that time can be infinitely divided and asserts that time is a single continuum. Razi contends that the concepts of eternity, Azal, and perpetuity, Abad, cannot be fully comprehended by the human mind. To illustrate these concepts, he provides various examples. For instance, he imagines the largest celestial sphere filled with grains, with one grain being removed every 1,000,000 years. Even though these grains would be exceedingly numerous, they would still be insufficient to grasp the reality of eternity. The human mind cannot comprehend the reality of eternity and perpetuity, because when compared to finite quantities, these concepts are effectively nothing. Razi states that there are two fundamental views regarding the eternity, Azal, of God. Eternity, Azal, and perpetuity, Abad, are not the same as God's essence. They are his attributes. Eternity and perpetuity are identical to God's essence. Razi does not definitively favor one view over the other. Those who argue that eternity and perpetuity are not identical to God's essence maintain that these concepts depend on God's essence and that his essence is incomprehensible. The other view posits that if perpetuity were an attribute of God's essence, it would necessitate continuity and permanence, which would result in an infinite regress, tasalsul. According to Razi, everything that is essentially a necessary being, wajib al-wujud, must be eternal. However, not everything eternal must be a necessary being. A necessary being whose existence is obligatory cannot cease to exist. Hence, it must exist eternally and perpetually. These debates provide deep insights into philosophical and theological issues regarding time and God's eternity. The understanding of eternity and perpetuity raises important questions about the relationship between God's essence and his attributes. Razi asserts that God, being a necessary being by his essence, is eternal and perpetual. Thus, God's existence has neither a beginning nor an end. The concepts of eternity and perpetuity signify that God's existence can never be associated with non-existence. Razi accepts that not everything eternal needs to be a necessary being. Eternity indicates that an entity does not depend on anything other than itself for its existence. Therefore, God's eternity signifies that his essence is beginningless and endless. Razi emphasizes that the concept of eternity cannot be considered separate from God's essence. He argues that there is no ontological division between essence and attributes. The concept of eternity, separate from God's essence, is unacceptable. Eternity indicates God's essence itself. In this context, the Mu'tazilite view, which rejects any eternity outside of God's essence, is, according to Razi, strong and logical. God's eternity signifies the uninterrupted existence of his essence, which is an ontological reality. Razi posits that time is an entity that exists independently, but is not a necessary being. It is a possible existence. Time is an abstract concept derived from the relationship between events and changes. The essence of time relates to immutable entities, and is referred to by terms such as Sermed, Azal, and Dahr al-Dahir. Azal is the essence of time, and is a contingent being dependent on God's existence. Razi argues that time, in reality, is an abstract concept associated with changing entities. What truly exists are the changing entities, while time is the concept expressing these changes. Although he acknowledges Aristotle's observation of the relationship between time and motion, he does not accept the eternality of motion. According to Razi, eternality is exclusive to God's existence, and no other being possesses eternality. In conclusion, Razi's views offer profound insights into philosophical and theological issues concerning time and God's eternity. The understanding of eternity and perpetuity raises significant questions about the relationship between God's essence and his attributes. By discussing the nature of time and eternity, Razi makes significant contributions to Islamic philosophy and theology, Kalam. Razi's views on time and ontology have been thoroughly debated in Islamic thought and have made significant contributions. These discussions are of great importance, both theologically and philosophically, and add to the intellectual discourse on the nature of time, God's attributes, and their ontological statuses. Stay tuned as we continue to explore these deep discussions. Don't forget to share your comments and questions below. Farewell.